Good morning, everybody. This is Diane. Continuing on with my big D-stash. I've got paper dolls and scrapbook paper, music paper, and lots of other papers in this video. So you stay tuned until you see the item that you're interested in. And before I get started on those things, I just wanted to point this box out and ask if anyone is interested in this. This is a box I got at a flea market last year, and it was made with an old cigar box, and they built it up. There's a little ledge there, and these pieces fit in it, and it was full of papers from the 1860s, receipts and things that were all folded up and tucked into these little compartments. And it does have this thing, a hinge, this piece of wood that's attached with some fabric, but the top part of it is broken off. So they had a lid for it and everything. It's a really cool box, and I just wondered if anyone is interested in it. And if so, I will put it in my shop. It's really cool. I just don't have space for it. So, let me know about that. All right, let's get started. So, I have a large stack of papers. This will be in a medium flat rate, so it would be about $15 shipping, which I will add to the cost, and so it'll look like free shipping, but the shipping is actually added into the cost of whatever I charge for this packet of papers. So we have two sizes of dictionary papers. This is a pretty vintage one with and it was a children's dictionary or a youth's dictionary, and it has lots of illustrations. So you get a bunch of these papers. I have 3 of these bundles. So they all have the same kinds of papers, but of course the papers are different. They're just all from the same books and things. And this is a larger dictionary with nice papers that you can fold without cracking. And so there are 2 sections of that. Quite a few papers. This is a printable. This isn't digital, but you would put this in your printer. It's not a printable, it's printable paper. You put this in your printer and it's perforated into cards. So you get quite a few pages of that you can break apart and make into journal cards or something. And then this is the same thing, but they're business card shaped, so it's like right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 on a sheet. So it says business cards, but they're kind of big business cards. Then we have some of the engineer's paper that came on a roll. I have a lot of this. So I put some in each bundle, each stack that I was piling up, and then I added more. So you get a bunch of that. And it's pretty cool, red grid paper. And it's on the thin side. So it's a very interesting element to add to your journals. I have some parchment paper. This is a celery green and some gray. Parchment paper. This is part of a grid composition book, just a few pages. This is out of a record book. It has the numbers in the corners, but it's a long page. This is from another composition type of book, but it's got an interesting kind of grid on it. This came from an old album. It's got a couple of pages with the leather tabs, and otherwise it's like a manila heavy paper. I wouldn't say it's cardstock, but it's a really good paper. And the ones with the tabs have this fabric on the tab and on the spine edge. I just have some pages from a journal book on craft paper with some designs. Got a few pages of that. Oh, there's some more of the gray. Oh, that's a different shade. So 3 different colors of parchment paper. This is a decorative paper that came on a roll. Some vintage penmanship paper and grid paper. These are thin papers. And then some music paper in different sizes. This is more music paper and more music paper. So there's quite a bit of music paper. I had so much music paper. And just some labels that you can print and cut out. Or just use these. They're on glossy paper. A few font pages and some large book pages. Children's books and others. So they're just large pages for your larger journals. So this bundle, and these are from art books, art instruction books, so they're really big. These bundles started out with the music paper, and then I just kept adding stuff until the box was pretty full. It's full. So that's just a large stack of assorted paper, and I have 3 sets available. I have a scrapbook paper destash, and again, it will be in a medium flat rate box, and I just kept adding more paper, other kinds of paper, until the box was full. So, and I only have 1 bundle. So I put in the scrapbook paper that I had culled from my stash and then added more stuff. So I have a couple of duck placemats, some vellum, printed vellum pages. And some wrapping paper. That's a piece of a tablecloth, paper tablecloth. Really pretty wrapping papers. More wrapping paper than I thought. It's an embossed one. This one's really cute. And then these are pages that came from Stampin', not Stampin' Up, Somerset magazines. They give you several pages of artist paper in each issue, and you just tear it out and use it for whatever you want. So you get a stack of those papers. There are some 6x6 papers, scrapbook papers, and some 8x8. That's another one of the Somerset ones. And then the rest is, I think most of the rest is scrapbook paper. Some of them are just individual sheets, like these. I have this Mother Goose Graphic 45. I had 2 of these. And some more loose sheets. Some Authentique. I took out what I wanted. These are unusual for Authentique. They are more glossy and thin, but they're double-sided, and it's called Imagine, and it has a carousel theme. It's beautiful. So I took out the pages. Oh, and there are some cards in there. I took out the pages I wanted to use. And then this one also is called Infused, and it's about tea, and it also has the same type of papers that are thinner and a little bit shiny. Some more loose papers. Oh, some more of those Somerset papers. Florals. There's more. I'm not showing each individual paper. I'm just trying to get through. And then we have some of the large art instruction pages. And just some vintage book pages. Children's book pages. This is from craft book or a sewing book, so it's a larger page of patterns. A large art page. Some of the engineer paper, and then some big. This opens up into like a poster size. Came out of a magazine. Some larger book pages. That snuck in there, but you can have it. And again, the perforated business cards, and they call these index cards, but they're not the same size as a regular 3x5 index card. And some more engineer paper. So that's a lot of paper here in this bundle. And there's only one of these. Now, you're gonna love this one. It's a ledger bundle. I'm fitting it into a flat rate envelope, so I'm not going to take this bundle out of the envelope. I just wanted to make sure I could make it fit. So some of the pages that you're going to see will be folded to fit into that, because I didn't have enough, a thick enough stack to put into a box. And paper weighs a lot, so I can't just put it in a envelope and mail it, because it would be like a padded envelope, because it would be really expensive. But it's ledger paper. It's vintage ledger paper in different sizes. So I'll just quickly flip through. There's several pages of this one. These are newer. I just wanted some small landscape paper, ledger paper, so I had ordered these. I think I got this pack at the Salvation Army, but I had ordered that from Amazon, I believe, a long time ago. This is a very fragile and aged ledger. I would use this in collage because it would be too fragile to fold and stuff. There's just a billhead paper. It's really good quality for folding. And another of the same size from the 1930s from the courthouse in Towanda, Pennsylvania, which is my county seat. This long, it's not really ledger, this is just a journal page, but it has the numbers. So these are ledger and logbook pages, but mainly ledger. This is a really big one. I think there's only like 3 sheets of it. This one opens out. Some of the pages might be individual. That one's double. This one's just one sheet. Another record book. And these are some more of those. Actually, I think this is a different one. Yeah, because it's bigger. So this is the one that's got writing in it, and it's from 1910. Some of the pages are dated. This one's 1910. Some are dated 1912. But it was begun in 1910, and it was from a hardware store, and it was keeping a record of rakes and things like that. So you could take these pencil written things and use them in collages. This is I forgot what the journal was called. but it was a record for a truck not a truck salesman, but a salesman who traveled by truck to customers. Milk, cream. So he's just keeping a record of customers. It's got their names at the top. And I think it's so cool that it's got red and green printing on it. But they're all written on. These are written on with some blank space in the back. So the front half is written on and the back half is plain. There's an even longer one with writing on it. Quite a few pages of that one. Then we're back to some plain ones. There's a plain one. But these are written on. This was from a gun seller. Remington Guns. Ithaca Guns. And then this long landscape one in yellow. Got a couple sheets of that. I love that it's yellow and it's a thin paper. That would end up getting folded. So sometimes some of them had to be folded to fit in the width, and some of them had to be folded to fit in for the height. These are some nice quality. These can be folded very nicely. This was used for a cemetery, but it's just a record of payment for the caretakers and things like that. And it's not that old, 1999. I believe the book was older. At least it seemed it to me. The book that it came out of was a great big book. And I think that that was older than the pages, but maybe I'm wrong. Or older than the writing, I mean. So the pages would have been older than the writing. These are the divider tabs that came in that book. So I think I like it that they are ledger printed also, and then they have the tabs. This is from a radio operator's record book written on, and this is one that's not written on for that book. Some more ledger. This is from a computation book for someone's college, and it's got some really cool notes on it. And then some more plain. And this is a farm record book. Or no, this wasn't the farm. This is a church record book where each square has someone's name and their contributions. I don't know the year. It doesn't have a year on it, but it's old. Oh, another computation book. I have 4 sets of ledger paper bundles. Now, I have paper dolls and one book left to show you. So this is the book, The Real Mother Goose. I love this book. And as I'm cleaning and organizing, I found that I had this nice hardcover one and a paperback. And since I want to take it apart and use the pages, I figured I would pass on the paperback or the hardcover in case someone wanted to keep it, because this is the book that has gorgeous illustrations by Blanche Fisher Wright. And this is in really good shape. I've seen it at flea markets in pretty rough condition. This one is excellent. It's got like it got dropped on that corner right there. It's kind of crumpled. And the date on it, look at all these reprints. It's a very popular book. 1985 is the most recent. So this is a 1985 printing. So it's in really good condition for that. And the paper dolls, I have, 3 sets of paper dolls. This one is not very old. I believe it's from about 1980, I believe. It doesn't have a date, but because of what I read on it, I believe it was about 1980, thereabouts. So it's Miss Victoria Rose. Oh, this is from Current. And it's not used because the stand hasn't, well, maybe it has been bent. but none of the clothes are cut out. There are colored clothes. There's a lot of them on just that one sheet. And this one, this is where I read the description, and it said 80 years ago, and it says circa 1900, so that's why I figured it was about 1980. And this is a sheet of clothes that you can color. And then there are some that aren't folded. Oh, this says 1991. Okay, I didn't see that date. 1991. And there are pages. I don't know why there are flat pages and a folded page, but these are really beautiful. So there's a lot of clothes that come with this doll. Miss Victoria Rose. It took me a long time to go through my drawer of paper dolls and get them sorted. So these are 2 dolls with their clothes. These are thick dolls, and they're in decent condition. And they look like they're from the 40s. Yeah, the necks are in good condition. They're not bent up. There's some tearing where it looks like it was taped to something on the back here. Look at the condition of these dolls. It's really good. I don't have the stands to make them stand. This is Judy and this is Barbara, and all of the clothes are labeled with their names on a tab. So that's how I knew what clothes to put with these 2 dolls, because I had gotten probably a couple, 2 or 3 packages of paper dolls at the flea markets with just jumbled up dolls and clothes, mostly clothes, because I have a lot of clothes that don't have the dolls. But I was glad that these had the names. I kept seeing the clothes as I was sorting through things, kept seeing the clothes with the names on the tabs, and then I found the 2 dolls. So then I had to go back through and look for the clothes again that had those names. So there's a lot. And I even tried to match up the outfits. So there's a lot of clothes here for Barbara and Judy. And then the last set is a jumble of pieces. There are no matching dolls and clothes. There are 3 dolls, but they don't have clothes, and these are American Girl. They don't have their names. I think this one is Molly, and this one might be Kristen. I don't know, Addie, something like that. So just 3 dolls with no clothes. They're dressed. They're fully dressed, but they don't have any additional clothes. They might have been just cut off the cover of a paper doll book. That's what it looks like to me. And this doll is came from a gift shop or something. She's a reproduction. She does have one outfit. She has very manly shoulders, doesn't she? Oh, this is from the Boston Children's Museum, reproduced from the collection of. And it talks about Hood's. Okay, so this was an advertising doll about Hood's sarsaparilla. So it's a reproduction of an advertising paper doll. And then the rest are paper doll clothes. Oh no, there are more. There are more dolls in here. So we've got some clothes that don't have an owner, but these are fun to play with. You can add heads and body parts to it, or just glue them down on your page. This came out of a magazine, and I actually laminated her, this cute flapper, and it's a Tom Tierney doll. I glued her to some cardstock and then laminated her a long time ago. There's this little doll. It's another reproduction from 1990, and I don't have clothes for her. And then we have this gentleman who is also an advertisement. So these probably came together. This came from a doll magazine from the 1980s, I think. She's laminated too. And she has adorable clothes. I really loved this artist. I can't remember the artist's name, but I used to get the Doll Collector magazine, and it always had a paper doll in it. And I always loved this artist. So there's some clothes in there for her. This is a Betsy Clark outfit. And then we've got a bunch of really vintage from the 40s clothes. So they're matte, they're not glossy. I love that kind of paper for paper dolls. Just a lot of outfits. I kept some. These, I don't know, these were in a box of stuff. And so I don't know, they look like they would have gone to a paper doll set, but I don't think I had. I think they were in a box of paper doll stuff, but these didn't belong to anything. So this little boy comes out of the chair, and this is a rocking horse. And this was in a bunch of Victorian stuff, so he would have to be placed because looks like something was in front of him. He was cut out this way when I got him. There's a Shirley Temple dress. I sold my Shirley Temple paper dolls, so that must have gotten left out. And some more clothes. These are newer clothes, but still vintage. And then we have this little doll, who is, they're reproductions, and they are greeting cards, which are kind of odd because they don't have any clothes. And there's a Betsy McCall outfit. Thought I had a page of Betsy McCall, but must be I kept that one. And then these, I'm going to have to trim those, you know, cut the pages in half so that I can fit them into an envelope, I believe. Whatever envelope I'm going to put them in. These are just little paper doll dresses that haven't been cut out. And then this set is for a bride and groom paper doll. I don't have the dolls, but I have all these really nice clothes. This looks like it's from the 60s to me, but I don't know. And they're cut out, but not, the tabs aren't folded. So that's a big assortment of paper doll goodies in this bundle. That's what I have for you today. I have those paper sets, ledger paper, scrapbook paper, music paper, along with other items that I was adding in to, because they were in my Destash pile and I needed to fill up the boxes, so I just combined different kinds of papers. And we have the nice Mother Goose book and the paper dolls. So there's a lot in my shop today. And let me know if you're interested in this put together, this built up cigar box. And I'll get that in my shop if people are interested in it. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for helping me with my Destash. I say that in every Destash video because as I post things, you people go and buy them, and it really helps me out a great deal, and I appreciate it so very much. So I got more stuff that I've already pulled out. I'm keeping up pretty well, but I do have some things that I haven't listed yet, and I have more work to do today. Today's Friday. I've been at this, is today Friday? Yes, today's Friday, and I've been at this all week. And I'm hoping to finish up at least going through stuff, and then I'll have more stuff to list. So thanks for hanging in there with me. My rooms are looking better and feeling better, and I'm excited to get everything tidied away so I can have a really good week of crafting next week. Thanks for watching. Have a creative day today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.